After working on page settings, paragraphs, headings, table of contents, now let's make some formatting on the figures and tables. So let's first find out the figures. You can see this is the image. When you click on this image, another picture format tab will appear like this. In this, you can apply different picture settings or different picture formattings, but the most important thing that I would like to mention here, that is the height and width. Sometimes your picture is very big or sometimes your picture is very small, so you can change the height of your picture from this. And let's say the height of the picture is 6.91. I want to make this size, or I want to reduce the image size to, let's say, 4. When I enter the 4, the width will automatically be adjusted. You see, this is because automatically MS Word reduce the height if you change the width, or it changes the width if you reduce the height. Let's say if I again increase the size to 5, increasing the height will also change the width, and we can change this behavior as well by clicking on that down arrow. If you click that log aspect ratio and uncheck it, now the height and width can separately be applied. Now if I apply the 8, only change the height, you see, and if you apply, let's say, 10, it will only change the width. But usually we want to change the height and width automatically with proper proportion. If you ever feel that height and width are both not changing with each other, just click on that down arrow, and if that log aspect ratio is unchecked, just check it. The next thing that you can see, this white space on the left and right of the image, we can crop this image, or we can crop this white space to reduce the image size, and hence this will reduce the document size. So click on that crop, and after that just reduce this size this way. Now your image will occupy a very less space, and now you can change the size, or you can change the dimension of the image once again. This time the image is occupying very less space from left and from right. And the third important thing that you can apply on the image is basically alignment. So after clicking on the image, on the home tab, click on the center if you want to make image center, or click on the left if you want to make image left, or click on the right if you want to make image right. Or you can apply rest of the other settings like the wrap text. If you want to put this image behind the text, in front of the text, these are the different settings that you need to play around with it. So maybe I'll be discussing any of these settings in the subsequent topics. Changing the dimension, cropping the areas that are not required, like in this image you can see, if we reduce the crop size, or if you reduce the image size, this will automatically reduce the document size and the space required to adjust this image. So this is how you can play with images. In the same way, if we go to the tables, let's find this table. In this table, that these tables are not properly under the page size, or these tables are outside the page margins. You see this, just with one click we can bring this table into the margins of the page, and click on this. It's not necessary to select whole table. Clicking anywhere within this table and click on that layout. Let me mention that these table design and layout tabs will only show if you have clicked any table. If you click outside the table, these two tabs will disappear. So clicking any table or any column or selecting any table will bring these table design and layout tabs. So once you have clicked the table, under this layout tab, click this auto fit. Under this auto fit drop down, there is an option auto fit window. When you click on this, MS Word will automatically adjust this table within the margins of the page. You can do the same thing on this table because this table is also outside the margins. So click on this auto fit, click on this and auto fit window. So this is how you can bring the tables into their page margins. Next thing that you can do on the tables is reducing or increasing the height of the rows. Let's say if you want to reduce or if you want to increase the height of all the rows equally, click a complete table and click on that layout table. Under this is height and this is width. If you apply width, that width won't make any sense because we have already applied this auto fit window setting, and if we have applied this setting, this width will not make any sense. But if we increase the height like this, you can see increasing the height 0.5 inch means that all the rows have a height of 0.5 inch. In the same way you can reduce the height. You see, this is the way you can reduce the height of the table. If your height is bigger than the text, then one anomaly or one thing that you may notice, that text is stick to the top. If you want to bring this text to the bottom or to the center, you can easily do this by clicking on this arrow, and under this alignment tab, these are the different boxes, and these boxes shows the different alignments. Let's say if you want to make this text left but in the middle, then click on this. You see, the text is on the left but the text has come to the middle of the row. If you want to make these two as center, then click on this simply. So these alignment tabs help you decide the alignment of the text within a cell or within a table. And if we reduce this size again, you see that alignment has no effect now. Along the way, another important thing, if you want to make rows evenly or equally same height, then you can click on this, and if you want to make columns in equal width, you can click on this. Okay, these two options play a very important role if you want to have the rows same height or if you want to have the columns have same width, but that might not be desirable in all the cases. So let's revert back this setting. Next thing to discuss is cell margin. If you pay attention, then in every cell the text has some margin from left, from top, from right, and from bottom. We can change these cell margins by clicking on that cell margin. In this, you can specify the top margin, the bottom margin, the left and right margins you want. The default top margin is 0 and bottom margin is 0, and left and right margins are 0.8 inches. If you want to increase the margin from top, you can, like this. You can see one more important spacing that might have been applied on your table or on your text is under the layout. In layout, if you see this before and after spacing, let's say if I apply the 10 spacing, that before every line the space of 10 point will be applied. Now you see, and if you apply the same space after, then now this table looks like if you have increased the height of the line, but actually you haven't increased the height of the line, you have applied this space. It is necessary that you know all these properties. So let's revert these settings. Now let's say if you pay attention to this image is out of the page as the tables were. So how to bring this image into the center of the page or into the margins of the page? Just click on that picture format and apply the size that you think fits in the margin. Let's say I apply the 3.5. Now this, you see, this dark area is basically non-printable area, or this dark area is non-printable area. This is the margin that we cannot write anything on this. This is the area where you place anything and that thing will be printed. Okay, one more that you can apply on this image. On the left of the image, on the right and the bottom of the image, there is this space that we can crop. So click on that crop option and remove this space. Make sure that mouse icon has changed to this stamp icon, like stamp icon. Okay, not to this arrow. Okay, this arrow basically will increase or decrease the whole image. This will not crop the space. So when mouse changes to this, now you can decrease the space or crop the image. Now click outside the image. Now this image size has further reduced. Now you can increase the image size. Now again, you see, we have increased the image size, but increasing the image size to 4 has brought this image to outside of the margin. So let's apply 3.2 or 3.4, whatever best suits to you. You can apply that height or that dimension to the image. In the same way, there is another image, this one. You see, this image is also outside the page. So let's reduce its size to 5. Okay, now this image is properly fit within the page.